Hey guys, it's Casey and welcome back to my channel, and also welcome back to the third day of 2025. Now, as you can see behind me, it is still a little bit light outside, and under usual circumstances, I never film when it's light outside because, well, this is the Australian outback and the sun here is atrocious. However, tonight, Nate and I are planning to drive out to the infamous Wolf Creek once it gets dark to try to find meteorite shards, and so I need to tackle a topic that I can talk about with a lot of knowledge very, very quickly. And luckily for me, there is one topic that has been rattling around inside my head ever since the very first day that I got here. Education, or rather the complete and absolute state of it. Let me just preference this by saying that I am not calling anybody stupid. This is not about IQ in any way, shape, or form. But what I am going to state very, very clearly here is that people in 2025 are amongst the most poorly educated in all of human history. And it's all right there for you at your fingertips. You've got entire libraries condensed into tiny pocket-sized devices that you carry around with you 24/7. You can enroll into any course at any prestigious university in the world online for free at any point in time. You've even got AI tools that can summarize extremely complex concepts in seconds if you ask it to. But what you lack, despite all this knowledge, is your ability to actually positively engage with it. Now, before you get on your high horse and try to correct me, just know that I am in no way trying to insinuate that people from the past had more access to knowledge. Far from it, the complete opposite, in fact. In terms of sheer information availability, your era is completely unmatched, and will remain unmatched for many, many years to come. And sure, in the past they were working with a less total knowledge base, but what they did know they knew extremely well. For example, take a merchant from the 1500s. He might not have known what an electron was, but he could probably do extremely complex trade calculations in his head and speak multiple languages. Contrast that with someone from 2025, where the average adult cannot even add up single-digit additions without counting on his fingers like a 4-year-old. And speaking of languages, here's a fun fact for you. 500 years ago, even the average poverty-stricken peasant could typically speak more than one language, and the elites of the time, they were routinely speaking 4 languages, if not more. For me personally, I speak 5 languages, of which English is my 4th language, and I actually struggle a lot with English because there's a lot of syllable movements between sounds. So there's one syllable in the front of the mouth, and then there's the second syllables in the back of the mouth, where in my mother tongue, all the syllables are pretty much in the back of the mouth or at the top of the mouth. So, for example, last month, I really could not announce anomaly. I had to sit with Nate for a few days, and he taught me how to announce anomaly because I could not pronounce it for the life of me. I can pronounce it now because I practiced it, but it is a very difficult word. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that from where I'm from, even very, very poor farmers and poor communities can typically speak 2 or 3 languages to some degree of fluency. And I know even today, especially in the global south, multilingualism, see, that's another word. It's very difficult. But multilingualism, that's not how you pronounce it, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It's still a necessity for survival. And that's all amazing, but then you look at the West, where a lot of people struggle to even speak one language. And that's the language that they were born into, and it's very, very disturbing. Do not even get me started on your rapidly declining youth literacy rates, because, well, I can talk about that for hours and hours and hours, and I have to head out soon, but just know that they are atrocious. And what's truly wild to me as an outsider looking in is that in 2025, education seems to be more about keeping up appearances than actual knowledge. People chase degrees like they're Pokemon, collecting credentials while learning what exactly? How to pass degrees? Barely enough to regurgitate the bare bone facts the morning that the ink dries on your diploma. It's all surface level. Deep depth and understanding about your area of study. Apparently, that is completely optional in today's university culture. And let's not deny a truth that I think most people know, which is that in 2024, some of the most highly educated people in our societies are also the ones least capable of navigating reality. There's something deeply, deeply flawed in a system that rewards memorization over critical thinking and conformity over curiosity. Anyway, I have got to go in like 10 minutes. And so the main takeaway that I want you to get from all of this is that you, the individual, are not stupid. Very, very far from it. But unfortunately, you live in a structure and a system that is actively built up to fail you. Education should be about empowerment and knowledge, not about checking boxes. And so maybe, just maybe in 2025, we should be thinking and rethinking exactly what it means to be educated in this world. Anyway, this is Casey signing off. As always, stay weird, have a good night, stay safe out there. I have got to go to Wolf Creek now. I will be back tomorrow. It's a pretty long drive, but that's why we're heading out in the middle of the night so we can get there by morning and find what we need and then come home and I can film another video for you. So I hope you all have a good night and I will see you for day 4 tomorrow.